Next up is profitability and overhead. So first we want to look at supply and lab costs. Those are variable costs that we could, that we could basically control, pull that lever pretty easily. 2, profitability and cash flow. 3, profit and loss statements. 4, driving production and collections. And 5, budgeting. So the whole point here is let's be smart about the money that's coming in and the money that's going out, so that we could take home, more for our work and our efforts. There's systems we could put around this. There's ways we can lead the team. There's ways we can approach things where we don't lose quality, but we're running a very efficient business. So this is definitely a backbone to practice ownership.
Totally agree. And one of the unique things about dentistry is nobody told you a thing about accounting and finance when you were in dental school. In fact, probably wasn't even approached in most cases. That was true 30 some years ago when I was in school, and I think it's still the same today, which is frustrating. I get it, because at the end of the day, we're running a business. So you need to build a great financial team around you to help you and guide you along the way, but also realize that some of these basic principles really are kind of common sense. You got to pay to play. We can't produce dentistry with no input costs. There's going to be that. We know it's a high input cost business in the first place because we have to attract and retain qualified talent. We got to have a place to practice dentistry under a roof. Can't do it outside very easily in this day and age. And also there are some other input costs, like you mentioned, with supplies and lab costs and so forth, that add to the variability of what it does truly cost to run the business. But you also can't cut your way to growth either. And so you have to think of it in both contexts, and that is that you come to this nice balance between income and expenses where it turns into profitability. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to pay you, the owner of the business, to be there taking the risks and the licks and the wounds of practice ownership that you signed up for.
Yeah, so I'll just put a bow on it. A lot of our docs are running sub 50% overhead. For years we've ran right around 42% overhead, even as low as 37% at times. And the reason I bring that up is there are systems, there are tweaks, there are tips that we pass on to our fellowship, the guys and gals that we're coaching, then they're seeing similar results. As well as those of you that know what EBITDA margins are, we closed at a 38.5% EBITDA margin, which is just massive. And at the end of the day, we're high quality, efficient, and working smarter, not harder, which we all, have heard, but doing it is a different story.